Welcome. I'm Dr. Vinh Huy, and this is your safe corner of the world. Dr. Vinh Hui's Health Haven. I'm honored to walk alongside you in this incredible chapter of life where growing older doesn't mean slowing down, it means awakening to more of who we really are. Let me ask you something. Have you ever met a man in his late 70s or even 80s who just glows? You know, the kind, sharp mind, light in his eyes, still walking with purpose, full of zest, like he's quietly defying time. And yet, you've probably also seen the opposite. Someone who fades too soon, body heavy, spirit dimmed, as if they've silently surrendered to aging. But what if I told you that the gap between those two men might come down to something nobody wants to talk about? Something most of us were told to ignore the older we get? I'm talking about your relationship with your own body. Specifically, your right to feel pleasure. Yes, I mean self-pleasure. I know, just saying, that might make some of you shift in your seat. I've seen it before. But please hear me out. After more than a decade working with aging adults, I've seen something extraordinary. Reconnecting with your sensual self isn't shameful. It's powerful. It's not about fleeting moments. It's about the brain, the heart, the spirit, and how everything in your body wakes up again when you stop silencing that part of you. This isn't about judgment. It's about liberation. It's about giving yourself permission to explore, not because someone told you to, but because you still can. Because you're still alive. Today, I want to share stories from real people, cutting-edge science, and a simple practice you can try tonight. No matter your age, mobility, or background. But first, drop a quick comment. Where are you watching from? Are you in Austin? Maybe Toronto? Or somewhere quiet and cozy in between? I'd love to know. Because this is not a lecture. This is a conversation that's long overdue. So grab your tea, settle in, and let's talk about how to add not just years to your life, but life to your years. Let me start with a question I've asked myself more times than I can count. Why do some men seem to age with power and purpose, while others start to fade far too soon? As a doctor, I've seen both sides. Men in their late 70s still hiking with their grandkids, flying through crossword puzzles, and laughing with a lightness that radiates health. Then there are others, men who by 65 seem to have given up. Not because they want to, but because they've been told that's just how aging works. But what if it doesn't have to be that way? There's one element of vitality that gets overlooked more than any other. It's something people don't like to talk about, especially as they get older. It's your relationship with pleasure, more specifically, self-pleasure. I know that might make some people uncomfortable. Maybe you were raised to avoid the subject, or told it was shameful. I understand. But let's set that aside for a moment and look at what science actually tells us. Your body wasn't designed to shut down as you age. Not your muscles, not your mind, and certainly not your capacity for pleasure. In fact, when you engage in sexual activity, including solo activity, your entire body responds in ways that go far beyond that moment. Here's what happens. You release testosterone, which helps maintain strong muscles and bones. It becomes more important with every passing year. Then comes oxytocin, the love hormone, which helps calm the nervous system and reduce stress. And endorphins, your body's natural pain reliever, kick in easing everything from stiff joints to a restless night's sleep. But it doesn't stop there. Each time you stimulate yourself, you boost circulation. Think of it like a workout for your cardiovascular system. Blood flows to the brain, helping keep your mind sharp. It flows to your heart, supporting cardiovascular health. And yes, it flows to the pelvic area, keeping those muscles and tissues healthy and responsive. Still not convinced? A long-term study from Finland followed men aged 55 to 75 over 5 years. The men who stayed sexually active either with a partner or on their own had lower rates of heart disease and performed better on cognitive tests than those who didn't. Think of your body like a finely tuned machine. It's carried you through decades of life. But if you stop oiling one of its most important parts, what happens? It stiffens. It slows down. Eventually it breaks. That oil, your sexual health, keeps everything running smoothly. When you stop using it, you're not just missing out on pleasure. You're slowly letting your energy and vitality slip away. So, ask yourself, have you felt more tired lately? Is your focus not as sharp as it used to be? If so, I'd love to hear about it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me where you're tuning in from and how you're feeling these days. Because here's the truth. You don't have to accept that decline is just part of getting older. I've seen men in their 80s turn things around just by reconnecting with their bodies. This isn't about chasing your youth. It's about honoring the man you are right now and everything that's still possible. Let's explore why so many men have distanced themselves from this part of life and why it may be costing them more than they realize. Now let's be honest about why this vital part of life so often gets left behind. Over the years, I've had countless conversations with men in my clinic. Strong, accomplished men who built families, careers, entire lives, yet so many of them have quietly said the same thing. Dr. Vinh Huy, I just don't feel like that part of me matters anymore. And every time I hear it, it hits me hard. Because it's not that they chose to let go of that part of themselves. It's that they were misled by silence, by stigma, by decades of misunderstanding. Maybe you've felt it too. Your desire doesn't show up the way it used to. Erections might take more effort or happen less predictably. At some point you start thinking, maybe that part of my life is over. Or worse, maybe you've been carrying around messages for decades, things your father said, or what your church taught you. Messages that told you, real men don't do that. Or worse, that after a certain age, it's somehow wrong. And society doesn't make it any easier. We're bombarded with images of youthful energy. Doctors rarely ask about sexual health after 50. Before you know it, you start to believe it's too late. But let me tell you what I've told every one of my patients who's ever said those words to me. That is a myth. Your body doesn't believe it, and neither does science. Your need for physical connection for pleasure doesn't just disappear. It's hardwired into you, from the moment you're born to the moment you take your last breath. What changes isn't the need, it's how we express it. And when we stop expressing it, that's when problems begin. It's not just about missing out on joy, although that alone is reason enough to care. Studies show that men who stop all sexual activity, including solo activity, are more likely to experience faster cognitive decline. Your brain thrives on those pleasure pathways. When they go quiet, it's like dimming the lights in a room you still need to live in. Your immune system also takes a hit. Without that natural release, stress hormones build up, making you more prone to illness. And your heart? It suffers too. Cardiovascular issues tend to escalate when blood flow isn't regularly stimulated. In fact, a 2019 review in the Journal of Sexual Medicine found that men who remained sexually active had significantly lower mortality from heart disease and lived longer. I'll never forget one patient, let's call him John. He was 72, a retired mechanic. Tough as nails. He came in feeling tired, foggy, like he was slowly disconnecting from himself. We ran tests, adjusted medications, but something was still missing. One day he looked at me and said, "Doc, I haven't felt like a man in years. I stopped everything after my rest." We talked openly about self-pleasure, not as a substitute for a relationship, but as a form of care, as a way back into himself. 6 months later, he walked in with the biggest smile I'd ever seen. He told me, "I feel alive again." His blood pressure had dropped, he was sleeping better, and he was back tinkering in his garage. So I'll ask you, what's been holding you back? Maybe it's privacy. You live with adult kids, grandkids, or in a care facility. Maybe it's health, diabetes, arthritis, medications that dull desire. Or maybe You simply don't know how to begin again after so long. Whatever it is, I'd love to hear your story. Leave a comment, no shame, just honesty. Because no matter what the barrier is, this doesn't have to be the end of your story. Your body is adaptive, resilient, and ready to meet you halfway. And I'm here to show you how. Let's take a closer look at the science, because this isn't just talk, it's real. So how exactly does self-pleasure help you thrive? To start with, it's an absolute circulation powerhouse. Every time you engage, you send a wave of oxygen-rich blood flowing through your body. Down below, that blood flow helps keep the penile tissue healthy and flexible, not just important for erections, of course, but also for bladder control and prostate function. Speaking of that, a study from Harvard found that men who ejaculate 21 times or more each month had up to a 1/3 lower risk of developing prostate cancer. That's no small thing. Then comes the hormone cocktail. When you reach climax or even just become aroused, your body releases endorphins. That's your natural pain relief, easing everything from creaky knees to stubborn headaches. Oxytocin flows too, melting away stress and making it easier to fall asleep. And who couldn't use better sleep these days? Testosterone also stays in play, supporting muscle mass and bone density, both of which naturally decline with age. And there's more. A study from the University of California showed that regular sexual activity boosts neuroprotective hormones, chemicals that help protect brain tissue. That could mean slower memory loss, and even a reduced risk of dementia. But the benefits aren't just physical. Your mind gets a boost too. Staying connected to your body helps guard against emotional numbness. I've seen it in my own patients. Men who felt disconnected often slipped into isolation or even depression. But when they reconnected with their bodies, it was like flipping a switch. They felt more alive, more engaged, more themselves. I remember one man, a 68-year-old widower, who told me, "Dr. Vinh Huy, I didn't realize how much I missed just feeling human again." That's what this is about. It's not self-indulgence, it's self-care. Just as important as eating well or going for a daily walk. So find ways to make it your own. What do you already do to care for yourself? Maybe it's gardening, your morning coffee ritual, tinkering with old cars. Does this feel like one more piece of your personal puzzle? If so, share in the comments. I'd love to know what keeps your spirit alive. Because this isn't about pressure. It's about curiosity. It's about letting your body surprise you again. And yes, I've got a plan to make it simple, safe, and totally tailored to you. All right, let's get to it, both figuratively and maybe a little literally. I created what I call the Restoration Method, a simple, 5-step plan designed for men over 60 to help bring self-pleasure back into your life in a way that respects the body you have today. This isn't about chasing your 20s or measuring yourself against some impossible standard. It's about meeting yourself where you are with kindness and science on your side. Try it 2 or 3 times a week. Give it a chance, and you might be surprised by the results. Here's how it works. Step 1. Set the scene. Find a private, quiet space where you feel safe, your bedroom, a cozy corner, wherever you feel at ease. Close the door, dim the lights, and support your back if needed. Use a high-quality lubricant. Silicone-based is my favorite for older skin. It's smoother, longer-lasting, and gentler. Warm up a coin-sized amount in your hand. This is your time. No rush, no distractions, just you and your body. Step 2. Relax. Close your eyes and take 10 slow, deep breaths, inhaling for 4 seconds, exhaling for 6. Let the tension melt away from your shoulders, your jaw, your legs. You're not just preparing your body, you're telling your nervous system, we're safe here. If your mind drifts, that's okay. Gently bring it back to your breath. Step 3. Awaken. Begin by exploring not there, just yet, but everywhere else. Run your hands gently over your inner thighs, lower belly, chest. Notice what feels good right now. Your body is different than it used to be, and that's okay. In fact, it's beautiful. There's no goal, No judgment, only curiosity. Maybe your neck is more sensitive than you remember. Maybe your arms respond in a new way. Think of it as discovery. Step 4. Focus stimulation. Now, shift into direct touch, using 3 techniques I've seen work wonders. The palmed wrap. Wrap your lubricated hand gently around the shaft. Apply soft pressure. Stroke slowly, up and down. This is about sensation, not intensity. The circular sweep. Use 2 fingers to trace gentle, firm circles around the tip. Think of it as waking up nerve endings with compassion. Root power. Massage the base and perineum, the area between the scrotum and anus, with moderate pressure. This improves blood flow and strengthens your pelvic floor muscles. Don't chase an erection or climax. Stay with the feeling. If something feels good, linger there. Step 5. Integrate. Pause. Take a deep breath. Feel the warmth moving through your body. Take a moment to reflect. What do you notice? Thank yourself for showing up, not just for pleasure, but for your health. If you'd like, jot down a few notes in a journal. What felt good? What might you try next time? This is your private win, your quiet progress. Start slow. In week 1, stick with the first 3 steps. Focus on comfort and awareness. Week 2, add stimulation but keep it light and exploratory. By week 3, build a rhythm. Adjust the time and pace to fit what feels best for you. Late morning between 9 and 11 a.m. is ideal. Your testosterone is naturally higher then. Or try early evening around 5 to 7 p.m. if mornings are hectic. Got arthritis? Try after a warm shower when your joints are more relaxed. Taking ED medication? Time your session when it's at peak effect. So let me ask you, can you carve out 30 minutes for this? What time of day feels most doable for you? Let me know in the comments. I'm cheering you on to give this a try and notice what changes. Before you dive in, let's talk about a few common traps to avoid. First, don't expect fireworks every time. A rock-solid erection or a big finish is not the goal. Success is simply showing up, relaxing, and feeling something good. Pressure is the enemy of pleasure. Your body senses it, and tension builds. Second, don't treat this as a one-time fix. Consistency is key. Just like your teeth or stretching your back. Aim for 2 to 3 times a week to keep the benefits going strong. Third, don't rush it. An older body responds best to a slower rhythm. Give yourself 30 to 45 minutes, not 5. Start with calm, gentle touch, and let stimulation build naturally. Rushing leads to frustration, and that's not what we're here for. Fourth, don't zero in only on your genitals. Your whole body is in the game. Explore your thighs, your chest, your neck, anywhere that sparks sensation. Less pressure, more play. More discovery, less expectation. Now, the hardest part for most men? Shame. If it creeps in, push it out. Tell yourself, this is doc-recommended medicine. It's good for my heart, my mind, my spirit. Write down the benefits: better sleep, sharper focus, less stress. And when doubt shows up, go back and read that list. One of my patients, Tom, 76 years old, blushed the first time he brought this up. We worked through it together. And 3 months later, he told me, "Dr. Vinh Huy, I feel proud of myself again." So let me ask you, what's your hesitation? Is it time? Privacy? Feeling a little rusty? Drop it in the comments. I promise you're not alone. Someone else is nodding along right now, and together, we'll figure it out. Because here's the truth. You've got the tools. You've got the science. And now, you've got permission to regain your vitality. This isn't just about living longer. It's about living better. Waking up with energy. Feeling connected to yourself again. Meeting each day with quiet confidence. Start today, even if it's just step 1. Your future self will thank you for it. And if this message speaks to you, tap that like button and subscribe. That small click helps me bring this message to more men who truly need it. Share it with someone who would appreciate the encouragement. Sometimes the greatest gift we give is simply breaking the silence. And one last thing, where are you tuning in from today? What resonated with you most? Leave a comment below. I read every one, and I would love to hear your story. This is Dr. Vinh Huy, signing off from Health Haven, wishing you growth, not just survival. Until next time.